Hello, welcome back. Thank you for being here. We're doing yet another book haul. I actually had filmed this before I went on vacation, and now it's the end of August, so I filmed it like the beginning of August, and now it's the end, and I hated all of the footage. So there was a couple videos where, like, when they were doing work on my house, it was echoey, and yeah. If you watch them, you know what I'm talking about. And I don't know, I sat down to edit that haul today and I was just like, I don't want to put this up. I want to refilm this. So that's what we're going to do. Let's just roll right into it. So first on my list here is Bloody Sweet #1. This is a manga. It's a color manga, so I don't know if it's a manhwa or there's some indication it might be like a French author. I don't know for sure. But this is like a very quirky, kind of funny story where the main character is a young woman. Her mother is a shaman. And then she gets kind of like forced into a bond with a vampire who is very clueless. And she basically has him do her bidding because she's like being bullied at school. So there's some... I've only read the first one so far. I have read this already. I do like it. I have the second one pre-ordered. We'll see where it goes. So far it's interesting and it could be really like funny, but I don't know if it's gonna, we'll see. Then the second book that I bought on this list is When the Moon Turns to Blood. And this one is true crime. It was a recent case. Lori Vallow, I think is her name, or Valo. I don't know, whatever. The people from Idaho who killed their kids and then fled to Hawaii. That's what this is about. I actually am really excited to read this, but I don't know when I'm going to get to it. I don't like to read a lot of nonfiction. I like to listen to it on audiobook, but I couldn't find an audiobook for this one. And it's a rather new release, so I picked it up. Then I also bought The Way of Shadows by Brent Weeks. I still haven't finished the Lightbringer series, but I did like the first book. This one sounded really interesting, so I bought it. That's all I have to say. I think it's more assassins. I also bought Hairpin Bridge by Taylor Adams. So now I think I own all of his books. This one has some kind of mid reviews. I think it's one of his earlier releases, but I haven't been super disappointed yet. So I am interested to try this one out. So then I also bought a romance. These are all just kind of jumbled. You'll notice this, but next time, organized me will be on the ball. Okay, I promise. So I bought Sorry Bro. So this one, I just went ahead and grabbed it, is Sapphic. The main character is bisexual. She's Armenian. Yeah, and it's kind of a romance and also like a coming out story in some ways. I'm highly anticipating I will like this one a lot. It says, an Armenian American woman rediscovers her roots and embraces who she really is in this vibrant and heartfelt queer rom-com. So excited to have that one. And then I am happy to report that I finally rebought. So I had owned this in hardcover originally, but then I unhauled it and then became obsessed with it. So now I own a copy of it again. But I finally purchased for my permanent collection a copy of Good Morning Midnight. The only thing I don't like is this has a stupid Netflix sticker on it, but what are you going to do? This is the same cover that the copy I had with the tent and stuff. I actually would love to reread this at this point. But yeah, I needed to have this, so I bought it. On a similar note, I was just at the used bookstore and they had a Book of the Month copy for a used price of The Light Pirate by the same author, Lily Brooks Dalton. I've already read this. It is very good. I don't know if I like it more than Good Morning Midnight, to be honest with you. I like them both a lot. This one takes place in Florida and deals with like rising sea level, climate change, hurricanes. It's very, again, atmospheric. I love this book. I am happy that I own a copy of it. It just so happened I found a used copy. I had originally pre-ordered it on Kindle and that's where I read it. So, okay, so then I also bought used copies of Authority and Acceptance by Vandermeer. Now I just have the whole trilogy. I am very excited to read these. I think they're going to go on my next round of TBR like priority list. I also bought a used copy of Book Lovers. So now I have 2 Emily Henry books that I haven't read, and I need to prioritize them, obviously. I also found a used copy of Into the Riverlands. I am missing the second one in this series, so I'm either going to have to buy it or try to find it used, I guess. But I've just been slowly trying to chip away at these. These are really short. I think the covers on those are like absolutely stunning, in my opinion. And for such short little stories, they're just beautiful. I also got extremely lucky at my used bookstore and found a used copy of a Sophie Lark book. So I bought it. So this is There Are No Saints. This is the first one in this story, I believe. And I don't know a whole lot about it. This is a dark romance. I haven't read any of Sophie Lark's stuff yet, but this looks like it'll be a pretty quick read. It's like 300 something pages and the text is like actually pretty big. There's illustrations in this, so I also bought it's here somewhere. Yeah. Also bought a used copy of City of Miracles. So now I'm just missing 1 in this series, but I haven't read them yet. This is by Robert Jackson Bennett, and hopefully I like this one. I tried to read his I think it was a recent release, or it was like a backlist release, Vigilance. Not into it. So we'll see. So I am definitely not going to hold these up because it's a massive amount of manga. But I got really lucky at my used bookstore and found somebody traded in their entire up-to-date collection of Toiletbound Hanukkah. And I was missing like some in the middle. So I bought 2 through 12. They were only like a couple dollars discounted each. So it did end up costing me quite a bit of money, but it is what it is. And I bought them. Another manga, I also got the first volume of Cheeky Brat. This is a romance. We'll see. I also got the first volume of Sugami Project. I don't remember what this one is about. I'll be completely honest with you. I haven't read it yet. There's another volume out already. I haven't touched it. At one point in time, I knew what this was about, but I have promptly forgotten. So, I also, on a random whim at the used bookstore, bought Always Mine. I think this is a friends to lovers romance. It seems like it might be small town. I'm hoping it's not like too Christian. I don't really know what to expect based on the cover. I don't expect a dark romance necessarily based on this, but the premise sounded nice. It's friends to lovers. He's a firefighter, so like I can get down with that. Okay, so I also bought some historical fiction and just in little mass market paperbacks. I bought Love Me Forever, The Abduction of Julia, Man of My Dreams, The Pursuit. So rapid fire. I bought a whole bunch of historical romance. Then going back to manga, I also pre-ordered and got Toiletbound Hanukkah number 18. I've already read this, and I loved it. Wow. That's all I'm going to say, finally. I also got The Dragon's Betrothed number 2. Also, I've already read this. And I love this series. I wish they would release more like rapid fire, but we're waiting a couple months in between, which is fine. I just hope that we get more than 3 and it doesn't just like end super fast. I also had pre-ordered for some weird reason. I don't remember doing this. It must have been like in my sleep, but I pre-ordered A Soul of Ash and Blood. Even though I think I'm missing one in the series. So, way to go, Aaron. I did finally get copies of the Loom Saga books. So, by Elisekova. I got the new covers. Let me show them to you. I have a signed, I think, first edition of The Alchemists of Loom in the old hardback. I found this when I was working at the used bookstore and bought it. They had the whole series and I stupidly did not buy them because this is before I had even read any Elisekova, but this series has intrigued me since like 2018, I want to say. Just based on the cover and the premise, I was like, this is so cool. I have since read this first book at least, and I love it. But this is one of my most prized possessions, but I did not get it signed myself. It's just signed. I kick myself every day for not buying the other ones that somebody had traded in, but you know, it is what it is. So yeah, I bought the whole new printing of the paperbacks because I love the covers so much. All of Elisekova's covers, oh my God. And also, I just have to say something about how all her books are the same height on the shelf and they all look great together. The only thing I'm not the biggest fan of is the matte touch covers because I have grubby little fingers that leave like grease on my books. It's fucking nasty, but it's the truth. Anyways, so I bought the new covers. Like, look at this. It is stunning. And all three of them are gorgeous. Like, I want this in a poster. You can buy the posters on her website, and I am like, I need this. They're gorgeous. I'm so happy to own these because for the longest time I was like, I want these for my permanent collection, but I didn't want to splurge and really take the plunge on them. And I just finally did. And I am so happy that I did. And she's going to be at Imaginarium next year. And I'm like, I need to get all of my books by her signed. Like every single one of them needs to be signed. She's one of my favorite authors. I love her stuff so much. Anyways, tangent. I also bought the Golden Guard series, all of them again. So I'll just show you one of them. Novellas that kind of follow side characters during the same exact events. So I just haven't gotten around to reading them yet. And they're all on KU if you want to read them. But I personally would read the Air Awakened series first and then read those and then read the sequel. That's what I'm planning on doing. So then another manga that I got on pre-order was A Galaxy Next Door #5. I'm planning on reading this like ASAP. I also had pre-ordered and got A Game of Gods by Scarlett St. Clair. I haven't read A Game of Retribution yet, so I can't read it yet. And so far, haven't been the biggest fan of the Hades POV, but I'll read it. I hear it gets really good, like the second and third books, really good. And then because I am so easily influenced, I bought The Wishing Game. This cover, gorgeous. But again, I really need to prioritize this one. It's gonna be such a quick read on a complete whim, just at the bookstore. I've been trying to do this where I'm not like only buying books I've been influenced to buy because I, like everyone else, am subject to that. And sometimes I get kind of swept away in that, and I am not picking up things that like I just find naturally on my own at the bookstore, read the synopsis and go, oh, sweet. The cover is what they had this on a table, but the cover of this is what got me because this foiling, stunning. And it says, a Fey Lord, a mortal woman, a dance with a terrible price. That's all I needed to hear because I am such a slut for Fey stories. That's all I need. This is The Thorn Remains. I'm going to read this one pretty soon, I think, because I'm excited. Okay, so then I have two more. So this next book actually was a book that my husband picked up, but it's on my bookshelf because it's a book and we don't really keep like normal books anywhere else. So it's here. This is a Dark Souls book. It's The Mask of Vindication. So I'm going to read it. I don't know how soon I'm going to read it, but he's probably going to read it sooner than I will because he was really excited when we found this. And last but not least, I bought a Trial of Sorcerers. I bought 2 copies on accident. I bought about 3 weeks apart, I'd say. Apparently just blacked out and forgot that I already owned the fucking book. So now I have an extra copy. I don't know what I'm going to do with it, but perhaps I'll give it away to somebody, or just take it to the bookstore and sell it. It is what it is. I can't go back in time now. I hope you guys liked this video. If you did, just give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you want to see more from me. And as always, thank you for watching. I will see y'all in the next one. Bye.